Africa is on X.
At Africa Melane.
Liezel van Westhuizen, do you have memories of Dolly Parton? Good morning.
Good morning. I have memories of just hearing the songs growing up and my parents playing it for us. So that's what's making me smile. So those are just those memories. But what a loss.
No, absolutely. Look, she was 80. She was battling cancer by all accounts.
I actually didn't know. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, no, she had a fight with cancer. Essentially, she passed away at a cancer facility, according to her team, surrounded by family and all of that, which was incredible. And being a son of a mom who passed away to cancer, I know that certainly towards the end, we got to a point where we were praying for her relief. Because as much as we want to have our mother around and obviously have her live for as long as possible, if her life is going to be so different from what she knew, then it won't be fair on her, right? And I'd rather remember her in a particular way. So, absolutely. But she will be remembered for her music. She really will. There's no doubt. Okay. And it's amazing how long her career was.
And what she went through to establish that career and how she made connections with her. And she's Miley Cyrus's godmother.
Yeah.
They've sung together. So it's through generations, and generations know who she is.
Yeah. And Billy Cyrus, Miley's father, has already paid a tribute, as many people have, to this incredible one. The president, according to EWN, has instructed the flying of the flag at half-mast for a week in America to mark the passing of Dolly Parton. That's a reaction I had. I mean, in my head, I'm going,
what
she's
you didn't
great.
see is my face. My face. Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah.
Absolutely great. But flying the flag at half-mast for an entire week, I'm not too sure about that. Let's talk about Flow Forward Africa. Who are they?
Well, Africa, I always come across these incredible stories that people just either stop me in the street or email me about. And Flow Forward is a group of young girls that are going to be climbing Kilimanjaro for a message. Kilimanjaro is basically the megaphone. It attracts their attention, but the destination is keeping girls in classrooms. And Flow Forward South Africa is going to tackle Kili at the end of September, climbing 5,895 meters, using this expedition to raise money and awareness around menstrual health and period poverty. They're going to use the funds from the expedition to support 3 practical areas: menstrual hygiene products, educational workshops, and community outreach products. And I just think it's so incredible, just these young girls going to tackle that. But they're also inviting businesses to sponsor meters of the climb. So instead of it just being that long distance, you can just simply sponsor 100 meters or 200 meters to make a difference, and it represents a really tangible support. But I got hold of Lexi, who is the founder of Flow Forward, young girl hailing from Cape Town, to tell us a little bit more.
Hi, my name is Lexi Levy. I'm a grade 11 student at St. Cyprian School, and I founded a social impact project called Flow Forward Africa. At the beginning of the year, I started researching period poverty, and the statistics shocked me. It breaks my heart to think that girls just like me that are born into tougher circumstances miss up to 2 months of school a year because of something as natural as a period. I truly believe that every girl deserves the chance to learn, dream, and build her future. Yet across Africa, millions of girls miss school simply because they don't have access to menstrual products. A natural part of life becomes a barrier to education, confidence, and opportunity. Flow Forward Africa was created to change that. And to make this future possible, we are taking on our biggest challenge yet, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro to raise funds that will expand our outreach, provide free sanitary products, and menstrual hygiene education, reaching even more girls across Africa. 100% of the donations will go to those in need. So whether you choose to sponsor, volunteer, partner with us, or donate, you are helping create lasting change. Together, we can break the cycle of period poverty and help every girl flow forward with confidence. You can reach us on flowforwardafrica.org and follow us on Instagram at flowforward.africa. This is Flow Forward Africa, because every girl deserves the freedom to thrive.
Lexi, grade 11, 17 years of age, tackling Kilimanjaro for such a cause. flowforwardafrica.org is where you can go to find out more, where you can go to donate. And I just think it's incredible, Africa. You're in your year just before you're about to go into matric, and this is the challenge you've set yourself.
Yeah. And so true, though, because so many girls end up missing sometimes days in a month in going to school because they do not have the sanitary pads that are needed for them to manage the flow of their menstrual cycle. And we cannot quantify what that means in terms of lost time in the classroom and therefore lost future opportunities for those girls. Let's
just work it out. If it's 1 week a month that the girls are missing, and it's basically 10 months of the year, you're almost missing, I don't know how many months of school by taking that 1 month off, or that 1 week off in the month. But also things like sports. You can't take part in sport. You're missing out on your sports. You're missing out on everyday activities. And you don't realize how impactful that is until you break it down and you realize how many days are being missed and how important this is. And it's a conversation that needs to be had everywhere, across businesses, across classrooms. We've got young ladies like Lexi at 17 and in grade 11 talking about this and taking on a challenge to make a difference. And that is just mind-blowing.
Let's also be clear, Kilimanjaro is no small feat, right?
No.
I mean, look, at the age of 17, she's probably going to be a lot fitter than she would be if she was 35.
You see, with altitude, it doesn't matter how fit you are. It doesn't matter how young or how old you are. It is going to be a tough climb and a tough challenge. But what Lexi's been doing is she's actually been documenting her training on her social platforms, doing countdowns, doing the days. So that's also incredible just to see. You can follow her journey and how she gets ready for that and how they get ready for that. So it's not going to be an easy feat. And anyone that's climbed Kili, please let us know on the WhatsApp line what was the hardest part for you.
Yeah. You went to the base, hey?
I went to Everest. I cycled across Everest. Yeah, wrong mountain.
Wrong continent.
But we also remember late Guguzulu.
Yeah.
Who unfortunately passed away on Kilimanjaro in 2016, around about there. And he was fit. He'd just come off doing an epic. He'd just come off doing Ironman. So as I say, it doesn't matter how fit or how young or how old you are. It's a tough climb at that altitude.
And how much of the climb will be successful because of her fitness versus her mental strength?
That's the big thing with the mountain. It is the mental fitness. And funny, I'm preparing for a talk about my cycle in the Himalayas for a client in Joburg next week. And it's all about the mental preparation. You can be as physically fit as you want, but it's what happens on the day. And it's also monitoring how you're feeling. That altitude sickness can hit you at any time. You are sleeping in a tent. You're sleeping, getting up early to do the summit. So it's mental. It's tough. Every day you've just got to walk one step in front of the other. So I think the big thing at the end of the day is having that mental strength. Yes, being physically fit, tick, that is important, but that mental fitness is priority as well.
All right. Remind us about the organization's name and how we can follow them and support them, most importantly.
So, flowforwardafrica.org. And if you want to support them, they've got all the details on their website. You can support by fundraising campaigns, by becoming corporate sponsors, partnering with the organization, just talking about it within your communities. You can get involved by sponsoring a meter at a time, where meters climbed are connected to the financial support. And you don't have to support everything. And support's not only financial. Talk about menstrual health without embarrassment, challenge misinformation, encourage schools, workplaces and sporting communities to think about whether menstrual products are in place within their facilities. So it's not just about the donation, but it's also about that bigger picture and the bigger conversation at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Liezel, thank you very much. We'll chat again tomorrow morning.
Chat tomorrow.
What are you testing out tomorrow?
Not that you are going to love it, but we are talking about what tinted moisturizer you should be using for the gym. Silence.
I have no use for it.
Exactly. But someone else might just be.
So I've been driving now since 1999, and I've only had 2 car-related incidents since driving. The most dramatic one was me driving in the early hours of some morning, and I'm driving along main road here in Greenpoint, and somebody decided to turn right without indicating, and unfortunately it was dark, it was raining, it was wet. I then did not brake in that fast enough for me not to for me to save myself from an impact. But the other one, and more funny one, I was on Orange Street in Cape Town, and these students who are promoting product decided to chase after me because they wanted to give me a pamphlet for a tanning studio. To which I laughed at, because I'm going, really? Like, you ran that entire distance to give me a pamphlet for a tanning studio?
Yeah, so this is very similar.
But what I didn't do is pay attention, because it was sort of traffic, big traffic. And my car rolled forward and it hit the Audi in front of me. I was driving a Polo at the time. But I mean, it was literally just like a book kind of thing. This woman, you will go and park. No. So there I am, parking, She gets out of the car. She goes to inspect it, realizes actually nothing happened to her car because she's got a tow bar.
Yeah.
So I hit the tow bar, and then she still comes at me, and I had to stop. She's a Caucasian female. I had to stop and say, really, ma'am, you've stepped out of your car to come to my car. I'm a black African man with a scar on my face. And this poor woman came to realize what she was doing and then huff and puffed away. All because this promoter decided to give me a pamphlet
on tanning.
Which
Needless
was
to say,
absolutely funny.
Needless to say, you've never needed to use that.
I've never needed to use it.
You don't need to tune in tomorrow.
So I'm happy for you to test it out.
Yes.
I'll ask you all the questions.
I didn't bring anyone any product to test out, but that's fine. We've got some great other products we'll be testing out over the next couple of weeks that you are definitely going to be part of. So I'll chat tomorrow. Thanks, Africa.
Liezel, thank you very much. Liezel will be back with us tomorrow morning.